Okay, hello, ESL 42. You are going to have your video vocabulary lecture, vocabulary video lecture on chapter 16 and 17. And as you know from our past video lectures, I'm going to go ahead and get you started on both of these chapters, and then I'm going to ask you to finish them as part of your homework, and we will review those answers when we come into class, or I'll make another video to review. So we'll see how that works out. Okay, if you don't have your books in front of you, open to page 98. Please pause the video now. Get your vocabulary book, open it to chapter 16, page 98, and then continue with the video. All right? You'll remember that I want you to practice these words' pronunciation at home as I pronounce them here, so that you are ready when we come to class to read the answers and pronounce them appropriately. Before I get too far along, I want to compliment you all in general on past lectures. I felt that you had a very good understanding of the pronunciation, and I'm hoping that that has to do with the fact that these video lectures are helping you to know the pronunciation of the words as well. All right, so we're going to begin on page 98, chapter 16. Word number 1 is pronounced condone. Condone. The example sentences are as follows. I cannot condone Elaine's smoking in public. It threatens other people's health. And the second example, teachers may overlook it when you are 3 minutes late, but they are not going to condone your walking into class a half an hour late. So what do you suppose condone means? Write your answer there. All right, next word is pronounced contemplate. Again, contemplate. Because Ben hadn't studied for the test, he contemplated cheating. He quickly realized, however, that the eagle-eyed teacher would spot him. Spot him means see him. The next example, whenever Anne's husband drank too much alcohol is what's implied here. Whenever Anne's husband drank too much, she would contemplate separation, but then she would feel guilty for thinking about leaving a sick man. So what do you think contemplate means? The next word, please pronounce feasible. Again, feasible. And here are the example sentences. It isn't feasible for me to work full-time and keep the house clean unless someone helps me with the cleaning chores. The second example, Maya told her supervisor, it just isn't feasible for this staff to do the work of 2 people who were fired. You need to hire more people. All right, so what, based on those examples, do you think feasible means? The fourth word in chapter 16, page 98, is pronounced feign. Again, feign. The sentences are, since I had heard about my surprise party, I had to feign shock when people yelled, surprise! You can feign a head cold by pretending you're too stuffed up to pronounce an L, N, or M. Try saying, I have a cold in my nose. Okay, it's like, I have a cold in my nose. That's what it is. Okay, what do you think feign means? Our next word, 5, is pronounced fiscal. Again, fiscal. And the sentences? The gift shop closed because of fiscal problems. It simply didn't make enough money to cover its expenses. Some states have passed laws allowing child support payments to be taken directly from the paychecks of divorced parents who ignore their fiscal responsibilities to their children. What do you suppose fiscal means? Our sixth word at the bottom of page 98 is pronounced furtive. Furtive. And the sentences. At the football game, a guard in the stands noticed the furtive movement of a thief's hand toward a spectator's pocket. According to experts, teenagers who are furtive about where they are going and with whom they may be involved, with drugs. Okay, what do you think furtive means? Chapter 13, page 99, the next word is pronounced gape. Again, gape. The sentences are, everyone stopped to gape at the odd-looking sculpture in front of the library. Because drivers slowed down to gape at an accident on the southbound lanes, the northbound traffic was backed up for miles. What do you suppose gape means? All right, 8, the word is pathetic. Again, pathetic. And here are the example sentences. That plumber's work was pathetic. Not only does the faucet still drip, but now the pipe is leaking. Healthcare in some areas of the world is pathetic. People are dying of diseases that are easily treatable in modern medicine. With modern medicine. All right, what do you think pathetic means? Our 9th word is precedent. It's pronounced precedent. And here are the example sentences. When Jean's employer gave her 3 months off after her baby was born, a precedent was set for anyone else in the company who became a parent. To set a precedent, the teacher gave the student who stole the exam an F for the entire course. Others will think twice before they try to do the same, he explained. So what do you think precedent means? Our last word in chapter 16 is based on the word punishment, to help you understand the meaning, and the word is pronounced punitive. Again, punitive. The word is based on punishment. Here are the example sentences. Judge Stern is especially punitive with drunken drivers, giving every one of them a jail term. Many parents find that reward is a better basis for teaching children than punitive action is. What do you suppose punitive means? So, for chapter 16, I would like you now to complete both of these pages and continue and complete page 100 and 101. We'll go ahead and finish chapter 16 completely as part of your hybrid and homework. And now we're going to continue with chapter 17. Again, I'm going to start chapter 17 with pronunciation and examples and sentences. And then I'll ask you to continue and complete this chapter. So now, please turn to page 102. And of course, if you don't have your book in front of you to 102, pause the video until you're on page 102. The first word is pronounced cryptic. Again, cryptic. Here are the example sentences. Whenever I ask Thomas what's happening in his life, he always gives the same cryptic reply. It's a green world, my friend. The next example. Next to the dead woman's body was a cryptic note that said, "Not now." What do you suppose cryptic means? The second word in chapter 17, page 102, is pronounced deficient. Deficient. And the example sentences. When people have too little iron in their blood, it is sometimes means that their diet is also deficient in iron. Gil's manners are deficient. For example, I've never heard him thank anyone for anything. Okay? Deficient. What do you think that means? The third word is depict. Depict. And depict is based on picture. Depict. Picture. All right, let's see what these say. The painting depicts a typical 19th century summer day in the park. And the second example, Harriet Beecher Stowe's novel, Uncle Tom's Cabin, depicted the cruelty of slavery so forcefully that the book helped to begin the Civil War. What do you think depict means? The next word, number 4, detrimental. And detrimental is based on the word detriment. So here are the examples. Oh, detrimental is the pronunciation. So let's try this again. Do you think all television is detrimental to children? Or are some programs a positive influence on them? The next example, the gases from automobiles and factories have been so detrimental to the environment that some of the damage may be permanent. What do you think detrimental means based on those sentences? The fifth word is pronounced implicit. Again, implicit. The example sentences. When the gangster growled, "I'm sure you want your family to stay healthy," Harris understood the implicit threat. Meaning he would probably, the gangster might hurt his family. All right, and the next one. Although it's never been said, There is an implicit understanding that Carla will be promoted when Earl finally retires. What do you think implicit means? Think about our word imply. It's based on the word imply, implicit. Okay? At the bottom of page 102, chapter 17, the sixth word is inhibition. Again, inhibition. All right, so first example, a 2-year-old has no inhibitions about running around naked. And Sarah's family is openly affectionate with no inhibition about hugging or kissing in public. So what do you think an inhibition is? Now at the top of page 103 is a word that we would already know from vocabulary, I believe. Or excuse me, not vocabulary, our reading book. We've been discussing inference, and one of them is irony. Well, the word ironic is based on the word irony, and we know that means the same as sarcasm. So let's see what this means. It's ironic. Well, first of all, pronounce it ironic. Again, ironic. And the example sentences. It's ironic that Loretta is such a strict mother, because she was certainly wild in her youth. The Gift of the Magi is a short story with an ironic twist. A woman sells her long hair to buy a chain for her husband's watch, while her husband sells his watch to buy ornaments for her hair. So based on those examples and what you know about irony already, what is ironic? All right, our eighth word on page 103 is pronounced rupture. Again, rupture. If the dam were to rupture, the town would disappear under many feet of water. So it would be inundated. The bulge in the baby's stomach was caused by a muscle wall that had ruptured and would have to be repaired. Okay, so what do you think rupture means based on those examples? The ninth word is saturate. Again, saturate. The example sentences. Most people like their cereal crunchy, but Teresa lets hers sit until the milk has saturated every piece. Studying history for 3 hours saturated my brain. I couldn't have absorbed one more bit of information. So what do you think saturate means? Our last word in the chapter, the 10th word, is vindictive. Again, vindictive. Okay, and the example sentences. If a woman refuses to date my older brother, he becomes vindictive. One way he takes revenge is to forward her all his junk email. All right, so he sends her junk email. All right, the last example of our last word, vindictive. After she was given 2 weeks' notice, the vindictive employee intentionally infected all the office computers with a virus. What do you think vindictive means? Now, I'd like you to complete 102 and 103, matching words with definitions, and go ahead and continue and complete 104 and 105. We will go over all of chapter 16 and 17 vocabulary when you return to class on Thursday. That concludes our vocabulary lecture for chapter 16 and 17. Please complete those, and I will, of course, review all answers with you in class. Thank you.